what's up everybody?
How's it going?
How you doing? Today we're gonna do a little review. So our three most common questions that we always get are, how do I do the pop-up? How do I improve my pop-up? How do I figure it out? How do I read the waves, judging the waves? And then of course, how do I get through the waves? So from the beginner, working his way out the back, he has to make his way through the waves. You gotta fight your way through the waves. So today we're gonna go over the 3 ways that we go through the waves on a longboard. And the 3 ways are?
Number 1, punching through the wave.
Number 2?
Pop cork, or pop cork, you can call it that.
And then the 3rd one would be?
Turtle roll.
Right. So those are the 3 ways we're gonna go. We're gonna give you a little bit of new footage and we're gonna kind of explain how we do it. So why don't we just jump into it. Now, before we jump into it, these tutorials, we do have these individual tutorials on other videos. So if you wanna check those out just to see a different angle, you know, we did those videos a while ago, but we just wanna redo it this time, put them all together because, well, they're basically, you can try them all out. Now, the 3 that we're doing, we like to basically progress. So the smaller the wave, you start with the punching through the waves get a little bit bigger. You can move to the cork pop, and then if the waves get really big or they're really right in front of you, then you want to use the turtle roll. All right, so let's go with the first one. So the first one, punching through the waves. Now, how you punch through a wave is very simple. You just basically paddle and get as much momentum as you can directly at the whitewater. This is primarily for whitewater waves. And just before the whitewater gets to you, you're basically gonna put your hand in the pop-up position and you're gonna basically just peel your chest up and create space between your chest and the surfboard right before the wave hits you. As soon as the wave hits you and passes through you, usually the wave will pass in between you and the surfboard, or sometimes it'll pass underneath the board and you'll actually go over it. So there's 2 ways to do the punch. One is basically just peeling your chest and then back down. And then the more advanced way to punch through is you can actually use your feet to basically use one foot to kind of kick your body up at the same time that you are punching. So that's the punching through the waves. This is good for small waves, small whitewater waves. The key is as much momentum as you can get, and you want to be perpendicular, perfectly straight against the wave. Second one, you want to take this one, Atua?
Sure. So the second one's called pop cork, or cork pop, whatever you want to call it. So the way that this one you do is right when the wave is almost, so you start by you're paddling towards the wave, and you want to do this one not on a big wave because else it'll flip you upside down. But how you do it is right when you're almost to the wave but not too close, you go into a seated position, and then you pull the nose of your board up, and then what I do is I tuck my feet under me and put them on the board, and then I put all of my weight onto the tail of the board so that it's like you're sinking the tail into the water. And then right when the wave is almost just about to get to your board, then you let all the weight off your back and you should kind of jump out of the water. It takes some practice, but once you get it, it does help you get over the waves. Yeah,
it's like you kind of climb the whitewater. And Atua actually does that on pretty good sized waves. And like he said, if the wave is too big, you're gonna realize it because it just won't work. You'll go to do it and then you'll end up basically flipping backwards, and then what that means is you should have done a turtle roll instead. All right, so that leads us to the 3rd one, which is the turtle roll. So the turtle roll, also known as the Eskimo roll, is probably one of the most commonly known or taught ways of getting through a wave on a longboard. And basically how you do this is you basically you paddle straight at the wave, and then when you see the wave coming, you want to make sure you do it early enough, and you're going to basically flip the board, get underneath the board, and then you're going to pull the board down so that the wave passes over the bottom of the surfboard, because you are now. So there's a couple things that I always tell people when you do this that you want to get right. So there's basically 4 things I always tell people. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you are perfectly perpendicular straight against the wave. If you basically do the turtle roll and you end up kind of crooked, it won't work because it'll rip the board out of you. So you got to be straight like an arrow. So the wave's coming this way and you're straight at the arrow. The second thing I always tell people is you want to make sure that you flip upside down in position into your turtle roll position perfectly before the wave makes contact. If you're in the middle of the turtle roll, the wave gets under your board, rips it out of your hand. And the 3rd thing I tell people is you want to make sure that you get in position and that you are pulling the board so that you seal the board to the water, so the wave will go over the bottom. It's going over the top of the board, but the board is upside down, so it's going over the bottom of the board while you're underneath it. And then the 4th thing that I always tell people is you want to separate your body from the surfboard. So a lot of people will do the turtle roll and they keep their body like really close to the board and then they move. You want to be like a drywall screw, right? So as soon as you flip into position, you're gonna have your hands like this, so you don't put it on your head. You're gonna hold it like this, or some people will use their forearms and hold the board like this, never putting the board on your head. And you want to basically drop your legs down a little bit, and some people find that if they spread their legs, that helps because it creates kind of like a drywall effect, so that when the wave basically comes over you, you don't get pushed back too far. So if you follow those 4 little tips when you do your turtle roll, it takes a little bit of practice. As you can see, we did it in some of the videos here. You can perfect your turtle roll. So go out, try these out, basically progress. Start with the punching through the waves. You can learn the turtle roll might be a little bit easier than the cork. Even though the cork isn't used as big waves, it's actually probably a little bit harder to master. When you say it, Atua?
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun because you can basically just pop right over the waves.
One thing about the turtle roll is that if sometimes, not very often, but if this does happen, that means it's really fun. You're going and you're upside down, and then the wave will sometimes flip you over and put you on the wave riding.
Right. That's like an accidental thing. Definitely seen a few beginners do that out here. It's pretty funny. Can't help but laugh. Anyhow, we will see you guys in the next video, and until then, pura vida aloha.